And welcome to a new week of racing here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. Already week number 3 of this fall meeting. Alongside Rodney Nelson, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, September, I think, historically is a bit of a wet month. Not this year.
Not this year.
We're going to be dealing with another fast track, warm conditions, but overall not too bad. And once the sun gets down a little farther, it should be a really nice night for the races. We're here to talk about our picks and analyze the 9-race card tonight. We'll have race cards here tomorrow and Saturday as well, starting at 6:05 Central. First post time in 54 minutes. Let's get right on to the selections. There's an obvious one in race 1. It's Arabians. They are 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. These are maidens. A very heavy favorite on the morning line in number 4, and a solid second choice in the 7 AARX Burn. We'll see if Ernesto Torres, who's going to win a bunch of these Arabian races, can get off a mini Schneid and get in the winner's circle here.
Yeah, I think he gets it done here with RB Boyfriend. That's the number 4. Second time starter right here is RB Boyfriend. First time out was back at the end of July. Ran in a stakes race down at Retama Park. Finished second in that one, missing by a neck. I mean, the horse was up there all the way around, right toward the front. So go ahead and give me RB Boyfriend here. I think this is the obvious horse to beat here in the first race. Second choice, I went with number 7, AARX Burn. This horse has had 2 starts so far in his career. First one was a second-place finish at Retama Park. Followed that back up in that same race that RB Boyfriend was in last time. RB Boyfriend was a second-place finisher, but AARX Burn was the third-place finisher, but, RB Boyfriend was 10 ahead of AARX Burn in that race, so I'm looking for basically the same finish there, RB Boyfriend over AARX Burn. And I'll take number 8, Triumph AA, as my third choice. This horse had a third-place finish last time out at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds. Was beaten by 7.5 in that one. By WMA Atlas was the second-place finisher. That's the number 9 horse, but I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to Triumph AA here for third in the first.
Yeah, I agree. We've got the same exact top 3. Not much else to really dwell on in this one. RB Boyfriend looks like such a standout based on that debut performance in the Firecracker Special. So I don't think there's much to say else about that. Let's move on to the second. 330 yards in race 2. These are maiden-claiming 2-year-old fillies. Scratch the 2 also eligible horses out of here. And they're in for a $25,000 claiming tag.
Yeah, so I went with one that's a fairly decent price here, 5-1 on the morning line, trying to beat the favorite with number 6, Astronaut. Astronaut, this horse had been running out west. So he started his career at Remington Park up in Oklahoma City. Since then, went over to Los Alamitos, ran 3 races out there this year, 2 of them in May, 1 of them in July. Now, 2 of those races were trials races, so not too bad there. The one 2 starts back was the Ed Burke Million trial. Finished 4th in that trial race, but only beaten by a length in that one. Most recent was a trial for the Governor's Cup out there. Finished 6th in that one, but had a little bit of trouble in that race. Got Ali Rivera aboard. He rides lights out here a lot of times. I think this is a prime spot for an upset here. So go ahead and give me Astronaut, number 6, as my top choice. Taking that horse over the morning line favorite, number 9, BFD Ragius. This horse has only been in trials races, all of them coming out west in the big trials at Ruidoso and Albuquerque this year. Best finish was the 1-2 back, finished 3rd in that race, missed by half a length. Some very solid horses that run out there in those trials. This one was up there competing with them, so we'll see what this filly can do tonight. And then I got number 5, Quick Lou, as my third choice. If you can overlook that last race at Retama Park, this horse has had some on-the-board finishes. 2 starts back, was a third-place finisher, came close to breaking the maiden 3 back, just missing by a nose in that one. I think Quick Lou can come up and be best of the rest here. I got it 6, 9, and 5 in the second.
Yeah, and that Quick Lou, when she ran that really big race in June, 3 back, she was a nose back of I'm Mom's Favorite, who we saw the other night. I did go for the favorite in here, BFD Ragius. The damn BF Foos Ragius is a Grade 3 winner who won 9 races and $245,000 on the racetrack. So the dam was really good, and we know how good Uncle D horses have been running early on. Really, this filly has not run poorly in any of her races. I mean, to be beaten a length and a half in an All-American trial, she seems to have had clear runs. She's getting an easier field here and shorter distance. She has competed early in some of those tougher trials, so I think the shorter distance may help. I went ahead and bid on her over Astronaut, who's very intriguing. John Steinbow originally trained her at Remington this spring, and then she went to Eddie D. Willis, the veteran Eddie Willis, out in L.A., and fared okay out there in those good trials, and now is back here with Zach Steinbow. So I have her second and get their hero for John Steinbow as a third selection. On to the third. Couple of scratches here. 9, Sign of a Diamond is out, and 12, Run Like the Devil. The 11 gets in, JTC Just Bayou. $10,000 claiming non-winners of 2 in this spot, and they're going to go $440.
Yeah, so the horse that I've got here is going to be number 2, DM Special Hawk. Looks like we got the same top 2 here. Now, DM Special Hawk, 2 starts back, was claimed out of a race. The horse finished third in that one by a head. Was claimed out of that race. Went to Arnold Lewis last time out, and guess what? He must have done something because the horse led it all the way from gate to wire, pretty much. Won that race by a neck, and a good finish there. That was at 400 yards. So this horse does have some experience running 400 or greater. Does have a 440 race, which was a 4th place finish back at Sam Houston this year. I think DM Special Hawk can get this one. I got the number 3, Thank Kevin, as my second choice here. Missed by half a length last time out. That was in the $7,500 non-winners of 2 race. So I'm going to step up the claiming price a little bit to $10,000 today. That last race was against State Breds too, so did well there. Goes back here to Open Company tonight, where the horse hadn't fared as well, but I do think that this horse is good enough to get up and hit the board. And then I got number 5, JL Juanita, as my third choice. Last time out, this horse finished 5th in a race. That was at 400 yards. Was beaten by a length and a half in that one. But before that, this horse put together some pretty decent races. In for the $7,500 tag, 2 starts back. Finished second in that race. Now, granted, it was at 300 yards, so going to have to add quite a bit of distance on from that one. But we'll see if JL Juanita is good enough to hit the top 3.
You know, our top 2, as you mentioned, are the same. DM Special Hawk ran a nice race when Arnold Lewis claimed him, and then came right back and ran a super race. And I really think that the ones that have faced non-winners of 2 before in this field aren't all that distinguished. Most of these horses are coming off maiden wins or had one relatively recently, so I'm not really afraid of the coming right off a maiden win angle. And his maiden win was for $20,000, and most of these were for cheaper than that. I really think Thank Kevin had just an impossible start last time. I mean, the comment says broke slow. I mean, to me, it was impossible after, the kind of break that he got in that Retama start. And to make up a lot of ground and run a close third bodes well for him. And then another one to consider is Blazin' Cool Jr., number 7. It's my third pick. A lot of trouble last time. It was a voided claim, but I looked up the chart. It was for administrative reasons, which is usually a misspelling.
Date off or something like that.
Yeah, a date wrong, something clerical, rather than a vet voided claim. So that's what that was there. On to the 4th. Begins today's pick 6 with the 9-race card. Race number 4, maiden claiming Texas Breds. These are 2-year-old fillies. $10,000 the tag. 330 is the distance, and you can take out 11 and 12, the 2 also eligibles.
So I took number 7, Jess Chantal Perry. I love horses making their second start. Yep. This filly is doing that right here. The very first start came back in the middle of July at Retama Park. Went 350 that day. Didn't have a bad run. I mean, finished 5th in that one, but was only beaten by 3/4. So not too bad there. I'm looking for that improvement from start 1 to start 2 here. Also comes out of those maiden races into a maiden claiming race, too, so maybe a little bit of class relief there for the 7. I'll take the horse on top. Second choice, I went with number 3, Mescatera. Last time out, this horse finished 7th, beaten by 3, so not a very good race there. But the race before was a second-place finisher missing by a neck. That was against Texas Breds, just like this race tonight. That's the only time she's faced Texas Breds. So we'll see if being in these state-bred races is going to help out Mescatera. Got the horse picked second. And then I took number 8, Blazing Barbie, as my third choice. You know, this horse has quite a bit of experience, 5 races so far in her lifetime. Has failed to hit the board in any of those. But I think coming down in here for this $10,000 price is going to be a decent move for Blazing Barbie. We see last time this horse was in trial race at Retama. Before that, it was in a maiden race. But when this horse, the only time this horse has been in for a tag was in for $15,000. Only missed by a length in that race. So we'll see what happens when it's all said and done. But I got it 7, 3, and 8 here in race 4.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say she was a disappointment in that maiden claimer. She was even money, ran 4th. Had issues at the start last time, and a nearly impossible task against a horse like Pow Pow, who we saw over the weekend in the trials. In a good trial at Retama, ran 7th, 32-1, and had trouble at the start. I think some of her efforts were respectable prior to that, even though she wasn't able to finish better than 4th. I'm going to take her here over Jess Chantal Perry, who I rated them about the same. Corona Good Times, the 4 is a first-time starter. Rick Lee has her as his best long shot. Now, when Rick picks these firsters during the thoroughbred meet, he's usually seen them work. I don't know if Rick sees the quarter horses work. He might just be wanting a fresh face. I can't speak for him here. I didn't talk to him about this pick. But I did look up the dam of Corona Good Times, the thoroughbred Bevo's Winch. She ran once here, a bunch of times elsewhere. She was 4 for 39, so... You know, she was not a world beater, but she did pose for pictures 4 times.
She's got more wins than I do, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't have posed for any pictures in the winner's circle. On to the 5th. Maiden special weight Texas Breds. They're going 400 yards. These are 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, numbers 11 and 12.
All right, so we've got my top few picks here, a couple horses that have finished second a lot of times. So number 3, Jetson, that's going to be my top choice. We've seen this horse at Lone Star Park 7 different times so far in his career, and I want to say I probably pick Jetson every time that I see him out here, thinking he's finally going to break that maiden. Hopefully tonight is the night, right? So if you look, so far this year, this horse has been in 6 different races. Has failed to win any of them, but has 4 second-place finishes. So 4 out of 6, this horse has finished second. Look at the lifetime record for Jetson, 9 second-place finishes from 21 starts.
Yeah.
So this horse is a runner-up quite a bit. If you count out that last race, you'll see this horse finished second 4 times in a row, missing a couple of them by a neck. I think that Jetson, hopefully the chips are going to fall in this horse's favor tonight, and we're going to see him finally graduate from the maiden ranks. Number 5, PYC Royal Time. That's going to be my second choice. Another one that finishes second quite a bit. Twice out of 5 starts so far this year. 4 out of 14 lifetime. This horse has finished second. Last 2 races, guess what? Both of them second place finishes. I mean, the horse can start well, can run well down the track, but always seems to run second.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and take the horse for second once again. And then I got number 10 on the outside, Native Country Chick, as my third choice. Another horse that's finished second last time out. So a lot of second-place finishers in this field, like I said. We'll see if Native Country Chick can't have a good run here tonight. But I got it 3, 5, and 10 for race number 5.
Yeah, I mean, our top 3 are scrambled, but they're the same horses. In fact, the top 4 are the same, but just in a little different order. And especially in the case of the top 3, they all love to run second to various degrees. Now, Jetson is kind of the king of running second, but the others are working on it with about half as many starts. Native Country Chick is my top pick, the 10. She made a great rally last time at Retama in a Texas bred maiden special weight race. She was 9 to 10 and in the wagering, so she was heavily favored, made up a ton of ground at the end, and didn't get away all that bad, but wasn't away all that great either. And just found her stride late and rallied. So hopefully today with a little extra ground, I'm going to give her the look here over PYC Royal Time and Jetson. But good race. That's the kickoff leg of the pick 5. I see no singles in that particular race. Race 6, got a couple of contenders here coming off layoffs, so that'll be interesting to see. Scratch the two also eligibles, the 11 and 12. These are 2-year-old fillies, non-winners of 2, and they're going 330 yards.
Yeah, so all three of my top choices here are all coming off layoffs. Not something I really love to do very often, you know that. But I think that number 8, the Real Freight Train B, and the number 9, KJ Honky Tonk Cowgirl, I think these two horses are going to be right there. I see you got the 3, my third pick on top. But you've talked a little bit in the past about that suck-along effect, right?
Yes.
You know, horses drifting off each other right next to each other.
Right, the competitiveness of having a horse.
Exactly. That's why I like the 8 and the 9 here in this spot. So the 8, my top choice. You know, this horse ran in trials for the Oklahoma Futurity and most recently the Heritage Place Futurity. Sandwiched in between there was a maiden race, which the Real Freight Train B was the winner of that race. This horse is always up there toward the front, even in those in those trial races. Last time out for the Heritage Place Futurity, finished 4th in that trial. It was beaten by 2.5, so I mean a pretty big margin of victory there, or margin of defeat for this horse. But still, this horse can get up there. This horse can run, as it showed in that maiden race and in the trial for the Oklahoma Futurity. I think the Real Freight Train B can win this race. KJ Honky Tonk Cowgirl, second-time starter. I love that angle, but this horse has been off since March from that West Texas Futurity trial. But KJ Honky Tonk Cowgirl did win that Futurity trial, so not bad at all there. I think these two are going to be neck and neck down the racetrack. And then I got that number 3, BV Elena Ray, as my third choice. I mean, first time out for this horse was a win that came at Remington Park at the end of April. Followed that back up in a race mid-May. Finished third in that non-winners of 2 allowance up there. The two horses that beat BV Elena Ray were both next out winners as well. But the horse has had some time off since then. Did work back on the 9th of September. It was a fairly decent workout, you could say. But I got an 8, 9, and 3 here for race 6.
Yeah, I got sucked in a little bit to Eddie Lee Bubba Willis, who's just been, I think he might be 3 for 3 this meet. Not 100% sure of that. But, I mean, everything he's been sending out has been running. He and Hasiel Soto, the jockey, have been an unbeatable tandem so far. But this filly has credentials also. I like the way she's drawn. Rocker-esque, the horse that won that last race she was in, is 3 for 6 this year. R.R. Godden Cowboys is 2 for 6, and he's stakes placed. So that was a good non-winners of 2 allowance at Remington last spring. Like you mentioned, he has a nice work the other day. I think these top 3 are a bit interchangeable. I like the fact that KJ Honky Tonk Cowgirl, the 9, when she was in that futurity trial at Sunland, I went and watched that race. She had dealt with some adversity. She wasn't out that well, in tight, rallied between, made a really nice rally to just kind of emerge late and win as a mild favorite. And then with the Real Freight Train B, I mean, she's run well in her opportunities. You know, the last race, I think, at the Heritage Place trial, she was just overmatched. But good dash right there. 7th race. By the way, that 6th race begins the late pick 4. 7th race begins the final pick 3 on tonight's card. 3 scratches. The 9, Bella PYC, is out. I didn't tell you that earlier, did I? And the 11 and 12 are both out. Non-winners of 3, fillies and mares.
So I got number 2, Easy Jet and Gal, as my top choice here. Trained by Toby Keaton. Brian Candenosa has the mount. Last time out, this horse was in a trial for the All-American Derby. Finished 4th in that trial. But the race before that was a non-winners of 2 allowance race at the Downs at Albuquerque, going 350 yards, just like we're going tonight. And Easy Jet and Gal picked up the win in that one by a length, pretty much led it from gate to wire. I think that Easy Jet and Gal, if this horse can put together a race like that one, I think this is a winner here in race number 7. Number 6, Princess Salina, is going to be my second choice. This is a horse that's coming in off a win. Did that in an allowance race at Remington Park. Now, that was back in March, so this horse has had some time off. Has a couple of races here over our track. Was a third-place finisher in an allowance race last September. The other race out here was a trial race for the Texas Classic. You know, the horse, I think, can run fairly well tonight. I just wish that had one race between now and then, I might pick this horse top instead of second. And then my third choice is going to be number 4, 30-1 on the morning line, Tempting for Cash. If you look 3 starts back, this horse was a winner in an allowance race at Sam Houston Race Park. Since then, ran in a stakes race and ran in a pretty big allowance or an optional claiming race last time out was well beaten in that one, but the horse stumbled at the start, finished 9th in that La Vida Stakes down at Retama Park. So let's count those out, get this horse back to the allowance level, where the horse has run, two pretty decent races and two allowances. So I think Tempting for Dash, at some big odds, could go up there and finish in the mix tonight in race 7.
Yeah, I mean, if you can overlook those 2 races against much, much better competition when she was a huge long shot, it does put her in much closer here. I went with Easy Jet and Gal as well. Quick note about the winner of that All-American Oaks trial that she was in, running to the moon, wound up running 4th in the All-American Oaks, which is a Grade 1 race, run this year at Albuquerque, normally run at Ruidoso. And running to the moon is a Heath Taylor trainee who's already won 7 races and $344 million. $344,000. $344 million would be a lot of
be a lot
earnings.
Of money. Be a good horse.
That would be, they'd have to run in Dubai, I think, to make that kind of money. And KJ Flying Cowgirl, the runner-up in that August 11th trial, was 5th in the All-American Oaks. So tough competition there. Her other races have been solid. One that I wanted to talk about was the 3 AJ Brazilian Gift. I kind of liked this filly last time. She was 6-1. She had no chance the minute the gate was sprung open. That was in a Cox Ranch Distaff trial. She got fractious right as they kicked him. Just did one of these, and the gates opened. She was standing there. So then she got out of there, and it's a miracle she was able to finish within 14 lengths of the winner, because with that start that she had, it was impossible. So I would give her another chance. Incredible breeding. By a champion, out of a champion. She's no champ, but I think she has run better than that in the past, and, she had an excuse. 8th race. From the 8th, 440 yards, scratch the 3 Darling Secret, also scratch the 11 favorite, Glory Shiner. 440 here, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of a race other than or non-winners of 2.
All right, so I'm taking a shot here with the number 4, KVN Corey.
All right.
What I like about this horse is, well, some things that I don't like are, let's just talk about the horse, right? So if you look early on in this horse's career, had 4 races, before this year, 2 of them coming in 22, I got 6 races in my PPs here. I got 2 of them coming right here at Lone Star Park in 22. Horse finished 3rd in both of those races, so not so bad to get 2 third-place finishes over our racing surface here. Went up to Sam Houston in 23. Only had 2 races, both of them coming there last year. Didn't do too very hot in either one of those races. But in 24, this horse moved to Retama Park, had a couple races at the 550-yard distance, right? So 2 starts back in the middle of July. This horse was a winner, broke its maiden down there at Retama at 550. Followed that back up in a $20,000 non-winners of 2 race, also at 550. Finished 3rd in that one. So what I like is this horse has had 2 respectable finishes, including that win, 2 starts back. Was running long distances at 550. Now it's going to cut back to 440 now today. I think that that horse has been building up some stamina over those last 2 races. Cutting back that distance, we're going to see this horse cross that finish line first. I think there's a lot to like about this horse with that 15-1 morning line. Number 5, Spoiled in Special, is going to be my second choice here. Last time out was a 5th-place finisher. Let's count that one out. Focus on the races before then. This horse has been hitting the board like clockwork, dating back to the races out here last year. Has run 440 a couple times. Does have a win at the distance. That win came 2 starts back. That was the maiden-breaking win for Spoiled and Special. We'll see if this horse can't put together another good race at this quarter-mile distance. And then I took the number 1, Favorite Talladega, as my third choice. I know this horse has been running in the big trials out west, but this horse got spanked in the last one, you're right? I mean, he was beaten by 4 lengths, 2.5 before that. Had 1 decent race so far in 24. That was missed by 3/4 in a 3rd-place finish in an allowance race at Ruidoso. But even the races before that, nothing to write home about. I mean, this horse did break its maiden out here at Lone Star Park, so I do like horses that like the track. But I would like to have picked this horse higher like you did. Just couldn't see it in this one, but I got 4, 5, and 1 here in race 8.
Well, we'll see if he can get out of the gate. He's had a little bit of an issue with not braking real well. And it seemed like Trey Wood's first few horses he sent out here the first couple weeks weren't all getting out real well. It could just be coincidence. Favorite Talladega, that last All-American Derby trial, though, was super loaded. There were of the fourth-place finisher in the All-American Derby, and the eighth-place finisher came out of that trial, plus Politico, who ran third, made the All-American Invitational. So it's true he didn't do any running. He was also 53-1. He's been a little bit of a some-timer. I mean, he's run a couple of nice races, and he's been disappointed a few times. I think he just doesn't belong in that level. I'm going to give him a shot here over Duponte's Courage, who had a really nice work the other day that we'll be announcing on September 14th. And I just think he's dropping to a spot where she might be dangerous. This is a good race. But I went 110. Let's move on to the ninth as we're getting short on time. Scratch the two also eligibles. This Jackpot Super High 5 carryover, a little over 2,000. Colton Gelding, Texas bred maidens. These are 2-year-olds.
All right, we'll see if we can't find the easiest winner of the night here in the last race. Number 3, Loving That Eagle. I think this horse is definitely the one to beat. Ran second last time out in the TQHA Sales Juvenile. Just missed by a head in that one. Ran second in the trial race to get into there. I think there's a lot to like about Loving That Eagle. Number 9, FDD Cupid's going to be my second choice. Was a second-place finisher last time out. I guess that was the Gillespie County Fair Association Overrun Juvenile, I'm guessing.
Or I don't know if that's overnight or, Overrun might be like for horses that didn't quite make the juvenile. Yes. They had an overrun. They ran one of those at Ruidoso last year.
So, a respectable finish in that one down in Fredericksburg. If you look at the comments, clean trip, big effort. Hey, I like that. I like clean trips. I like horses that put together big efforts. Hopefully FDD Cupid can put together another big effort here tonight. And then I got a first-time starter, number 4, Famous Mach 1, as my third finisher here. We're going to roll the dice on this first-time starter and see what happens for the first time out to the track. But I got it 3-9-4 here in the nightcap.
Yeah. I mean, I think the 3 is obvious, but I agree. I have the 4 as a fourth pick. A first-time starter might be able to warm these guys up a little bit. Waiting on the dock, my second pick, has fared well at times. Did have a rally at Gillespie last time. I like to see that for a horse stretching out to 400 yards today. So I went 3-2-5-4 there in the last. That'll do it for our analysis. Rodney will have his previews from here in the paddock. We hope you have a pleasant Thursday evening. First post time coming up in 27 minutes. We'll have tonight's national anthem and the full rundown of the changes coming up shortly. Good luck tonight.